Now here I am enjoying my Friday. Just finally got done with tests. No more school for me, which is great. And I wasn't expecting to record anything today. Just watching YouTube. There's a PokeRogue event. So just, trying to get my shinies. And then I'm watching this video about the gaming industry. Now, I do have a video later this week that's going to come out that talks about it a bit. But I was thinking about it more as I'm watching this. And I'm shocked at how surprised, especially this person is, that the video game industry, right, is struggling. Like, people, all these studios are closing down. There's so many. It's like a shock. And I don't see it that way. I'm not shocked. Why would I be shocked? Because here's the way I see it, right? AAA gaming, the way we understand it today, can't really exist. What do I mean by that? That might be confusing. What do you mean? Companies exist to make money. And I'm talking about corporations. Now, there are small businesses that want to make money, and then there are corporations that only make money, right? Now, a small business, you might see them be a bit ethical. You won't really see this from a large corporation. A corporation's goal is to make money. We all get it, right? Now, what are the games that make money? Now, back in the day, look at the older games. A lot of them sucked. I'm going to say that. I was talking to my dad the other day. He grew up with a lot of NES games, Super Nintendo games. Even he admitted, right? Some of them sucked. There are some games he wanted to be good that sucked. And we still see games that suck today. But guess what? If you want to make a game back then, do you know how cheap that was? You just pay one person. Hey, you know the program? All right, make a video game. All right, now sell it. And it'll sell. Right? All you need to do is make a deal with, like, Back to the Future. Be like, all right, we're going to make a game using this IP. Just pay one guy and make the game. And that's it. Like, how many of those games had credit screens at the end? I don't think there were many. I don't even know if Super Mario Brothers had one. Maybe it did. It was really short. I don't remember. But the games didn't really have credit screens. Games now cost so much more to make. And the games that make money are the games that are making billions of dollars that actually make sense to me. What are these games? Of course there's Fortnite. Fortnite, of course that game's going to still be here as long as people play it and buy skins. So we know that. What about Call of Duty? As much as people complain about Call of Duty, the game makes billions of dollars. I don't feel like fact checking this. Just look it up. You could see it for yourself. They make billions of dollars every year. Because microtransactions work. And why is this? Because the AAA industry targets casual gamers. So these are people that only play video games, not that much. They don't take it seriously. So they don't value their money. They value their money, but not enough where they're willing to pour it into one game because they don't really care. Now, these smaller games that are like, here's the way I like to call them. They're AAA indie games. What do I mean by that? They're games that have a niche audience, yet they're made by a AAA studio. That doesn't really make sense in the year 2024 anymore. Now, why is that? Because even if it's a good game and people like it, if a few million people play it, that's not good enough. The margins aren't high enough anymore. This is big business. Especially these big companies. Why would you keep those guys around when you're better off spending money making Call of Duty that will make billions of dollars instead of millions? So, all I'm trying to say is the games that are like indie games that look AAA can't exist. There's no justification for them to exist because it costs way too much. And there's not enough people interested for these games to justify their existence. What I'm trying to say is if you want these games, you should expect them from indie developers that are made by less people, but at the same time, don't look as graphically nice. And in a way, right, there's such a focus on the future of games looking better and better and better. The truth is, we live in a world with limited resources and time. We can't have that anymore. At least not with the games you like. Now, who can you expect this from? Nintendo. Because Nintendo does a great job attracting a casual audience, but even then, you play their games are easy. Why do you think that is? Their games are meant to be appealing towards kids. Listen, as much as people say Nintendo games aren't for kids, that's their core audience. They target is kids. I'm not talking about teenagers, I'm talking about kids. Teenagers play their games too. And that's their target audience. That's the reason why Nintendo games are able to exist. If kids no longer about the games, or better yet, if Nintendo didn't market their games for kids, Nintendo wouldn't exist anymore. Or at least they wouldn't be able to. Or they would have to introduce microtransactions and follow the trends of the rest of the industry. Because, you know, look at the sales of Mario. They make $20 million in sales. They can justify their existence also because it helps sell the console. And Nintendo makes money that way. And I think the only way we could see high quality games that are AAA quality, that aren't have scummy microtransactions, is from console developers. And I think that makes sense, right? Because if you want people to buy your console, you need to have better games that people want. But at the same time, you know, as I said, people buy Nintendo because of the convenience. They buy their games also, right, because they're targeted towards kids. So when a parent has a kid and they want to give them a game to play, they'll get them a Nintendo Switch. That's just how it is. There's a reason why you talk to anyone who played any video game, their first console almost always is a Nintendo console. Maybe they have a computer too, but parents don't like to give their kids computers just because it has the internet. Now that's kind of been changing too, the culture right now. All of a sudden, parents are giving their kids iPads. But even then, a computer, also that's kind of complicated. Like, for a kid to learn to use a computer, there's a lot. You know? I'm not talking about like a laptop, like a Chromebook. I'm talking about like a PC. Understanding how to use files and not getting a virus, that's, you know, for a kid to figure that out, that's a lot. That's a lot of responsibility. But anyway, these games, these big games that look really nice, we can't have them. Because they cost too much and they don't make enough. Now, I do want to take the time, I'm going to name indie games you probably heard of. Well, maybe you haven't, because these games, you know, even though I think they're big and I like them, I think everyone knows about them, right? This is self-serving bias. I mean, no, this is consensus bias? Where, I don't remember the exact term, but basically the idea that you think more people have the opinions you have than reality. Right? I think everyone likes Hollow Knight or Enter the Gungeon. These are games that many people probably have never heard of or have no interest in playing. Right? I love Metroidvanias. And a game like Hollow Knight does look good, and it was made by 2 people, I think, and they hired some other people to help them out, but it was really made by 2 people. And here's the way to think about it. If 2 people sell 5 million copies, I don't know how much a game sold, I'm making up numbers, right? Because you get the point. Let me get the point across. If 2 people sell a game, and they sell 5 million copies, and they sell it for $30, let's say, that's what? $15 million, okay? $15 million. So if 2 people, you divide that up equally, right? And then, let's say, because of taxes and everything, they get to keep $4 million each. You know, if one guy makes $4 million, that's great. So to make one game, put in all this time, for the opportunity to make $4 million, right? You can justify that. When you have a team of 100 people making a game, and it makes $15 million, the company makes no money because those are people that have to get paid, right? Where 2 people are working, they're either working on money that they have and they're making no money, or they have a job and they're doing this on the side. And when they make the game, it pretty much pays them for their time and more. They keep everything. Now, usually you have a publisher that'll keep the money too, but even then, let's say they have $3 million they get to keep at the end. It's a lot of money, right? These are the people that are going to be making the games that are actually good, that have microtransactions, is going to be from these companies. And I don't even know if we're ever going to see a good sports game, because I'll be honest, this is going to be a bit, maybe you won't like this, but this is the truth, is that sports games attract a casual audience. That's just how it is. And I cannot see a. Well, wait, no. There is actually. I just remembered. There's a indie game that's a sports game that people really liked. What was it? A Retro Bowl. Because I saw a lot of people in school playing it. I don't know how successful it was. Would that reach the casual audience? Now, I think the reason for that, though, is because it was free. If it cost money, it wouldn't succeed. And that's the other challenge indie games have, is because there isn't that trust. You have to charge less money, so you kind of make less also. But anyway, if you want to get good games, they're going to come from indie developers, and they're not going to have as many, maybe not as high quality graphics, but I'll tell you what, they will be very fun to play. And now I do want to talk about one other thing that's related to this, is Minecraft. Minecraft is a game that's really fun. I love that game. But there's something that worries me very, very much. It's owned by Microsoft. Have you seen all the shutdowns? Now here's the thing. I'll say that right. If Minecraft ceases development, that wouldn't personally bother me. And the reason, that might shock you, the reason why is because there's so many mods, there's so much to the game, that anything they add is like bonus. But it's not necessary. You don't need it. Right? I could still play Minecraft Console Edition, and the only reason why I wouldn't want to play it today is because of a limited world size. But even then, I played that game for so much, I could still go back to it and have fun. Right? Minecraft's a game that would last forever, but let's say but if Minecraft, if you justify its existence, justify the people that are working, which is, I don't even think it's a lot of people that work there. You justify their existence. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to have to ramp up microtransactions? Now here's the thing, they don't do it in Java, but they do that because they know they can. Right? And the only way I think Java is safe is if Microsoft doesn't understand exactly what Java gets. For example, Java gets free skins. I'm sorry. Not only that, but if you have Bedrock on your PC, you get free skins, and you can import worlds, and you could just find mods for free. Now, you can still buy mods and stuff, but Java has all this for free already. And one of the things that does worries me is, what if Microsoft decides, well, we want to make more money from mods, so they shut down every mod? That would worry me a lot, because that, I don't even know if they're legally allowed to, but there's so many mods that if, it was harder to get, that I would be devastated, because modded Minecraft's one of the games I still play all the time. And that's pretty much all I want to say. Am I surprised that all these companies are shutting down? No. And I have a video where I talk more about this, about specific examples, so I'll have that coming out. But I just want to make this quick video being like, no, I'm not. Why? How is that? I'm surprised that people are surprised that that video game studios are shutting down, because the thing that bothers me the most is, I think I've been seeing people do this. Now, this is the second time, right? I saw Upper Echelon do this, where they make a bad argument, where they point out how much money the CEO makes or the company makes. That's irrelevant. And I think it's hard for people to understand that that's irrelevant. But the reason why I say this is because I think people fail to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that companies only exist to make money, and if they're not making money, they can no longer exist. People are trying to look this from a humanistic perspective of what they would do if they had all this money, because they're gamers. These are people that only care about getting good video games. The company doesn't care about that. They care about making money. And the truth is, your opinion doesn't matter to these companies, because the only thing they've ever cared about is making money. And the other thing is, they're making money off of these microtransactions. What they're doing is working. So the games that are going to be left are going to be the games that pretty much take advantage of people, and battle passes, microtransactions, all that. And let's say people finally have enough and they stop playing those games. Do you know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. Those studios will shut down, in AAA developers will be very, very few. There will be very few left. Nintendo will still exist because their strategy is different. There won't be many AAA companies left because there's not enough money to justify their existence. Now, I want to see what you guys think. I will look at the comments, so definitely leave one. I want to see what you guys think about this because are you shocked that all this is happening at all? Do you disagree with anything I said? I'd love to read good arguments. What do you guys think? You know, I'm always happy to have my mind changed. But, yeah, I'm just trying to be realistic at the end of the day. And realistically, even if a company has $1 trillion, they're not going to keep a studio alive out of the kindness of their heart. Right? This is not how the world works. And would I personally like to see these studios still up? Of course I would. And even Minecraft. Because I know some of you might be thinking, well, what if it happens to you? Right? This would happen to me if it happened to Minecraft. And I already accepted the fact that this could happen at any moment. Any update I get with Minecraft, I'm extremely thankful for. Because I don't expect any more updates. I expect the studio to be shut down any minute. So, yeah, I'm sorry to leave on a depressing note, but I'm just trying to, stay grounded in reality and not think about what I want to happen and accept what is happening, right? Because this is a saying I like to live by. I like to play with the cards God has dealt me, right? God is dealing right now cards where these studios are shutting down and you have to put a bit more time to find good games and they won't be as graphically intense. But that's not the end of the world because these good games still exist. They're just not made by EA or Activision anymore. Now, and the last thing I'll say, right? For any of you guys that like live service games, I'm sorry. I am really sorry. Because, yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting many of those anymore. Unless they're really low quality graphics-wise, and they're able to save money that way. Anyway, that's it.